Lady Luna starts out in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. By the 9th, she enters Pisces, getting ready for a full moon on the 10th. Then by the 11th, she's in Aries, giving us that emotional boost that is very much needed. By the 14th, she's in Taurus, and this is our full moon outlook for the week. Merry meet and welcome, everyone. Welcome to the AstroTarot Show. I am your celestial host, Serona Rose. And you just got a glimpse of what our beautiful Lady Luna will be doing this week. And I will say there's a lot of aspects that are going on. So I just kind of want to, the ones that really were prominent to me, I want to share those with you. So speaking of, let's see, we talked last week about Mercury going retrograde, right? And he will be retrograde until, we'll be feeling his energy. We'll be completely out of his shadow by October the 17th. So in saying that, he will be back at Libra in 8 degrees and where we began. So he'll be traveling back through 24 degrees of Virgo, through 8 degrees of Libra. So if you want to look at where Mercury retrograde is going to hit you, that is where you would need to look at on your birth chart between the 24 degrees of Virgo and 8 degrees of Libra. So look at the planets that are in those placements, look at the houses as well. And, you know, I just want to let you know that, you know, when Mercury is in Libra, he's about balance. But when he enters into Virgo, he's going to be more analytical. And this is about communication. So this is communication in all sense. It could be verbal, it could be written, it could be digital, and so forth. So Virgo is more worried about what is practical, what is sensible, and not really worried about feelings. So in retrograde, Mercury's energy is going to be amped in this placement. So with all of this energy, it's going to be a lot of energy. And you know, when there's so much energy going through lines, there's kind of like this disruption or even blow-ups. So that's one thing we have to really be careful about. You know, Mercury, he's a fast mover. Even when he's in retrograde, he's going fast. And this is, you know, he's amped up with this. This is energy, right? This is like fast-paced energy. So if we are not clear with our communication and we are not working on being on the same page, this could lead to a lot of blow-ups. So we have to watch out for that. Really, what's going to be important during the Mercury retrograde is we have to think things through first before we act. We have to look at the details, and that's really going to be important, because I know that it's just impossible not to live life while Mercury is retrograde. I understand that, and you know, and you'll hear all the time, it's not a time to do this and stuff like that, but it's just, again, here we go with Virgo, it's not practical, right? But if we're having to do that, we're really needing to work on clarity and communication. And this calls to paying attention to details, paying attention to what is said, what is written, how is it said, how is it written. You know, we have to, you know, pay attention here. Virgo likes to connect the dots. Okay, you know, Virgo likes to figure things out. How does it work? And when we are really looking at those details, we can get into knowing something that we may not have wished we would have found out. And this goes with truth. Everybody wants truth until truth is served. And then it can be very daunting to find that out. So we really need to look at these, really need to pay attention to the details. Pay attention to what is being said by whom and when it's being said, those sort of things. It is also about changing to do something else. We have to really be careful with that as well. That can be a part of that. Again, when you're going down one path and you decide, I don't want to go this way, I'm going that, just, out of the ordinary, really be careful with that. This is not a good time for impulsive decisions. And that is the biggest thing about the Mercury retrograde, is we have to control that impulse urge. So be careful with that. Think about, when you've been thinking about something for a long time and now it's coming into play, that's kind of different. And I think with, here when we have Mercury like this, it's like if something is going on, we can still go on, just pay attention. But if we're going down this path and this is where we want to go, then all of a sudden we have something new and shiny on our side and it's gathering our attention and it's pulling us to go in a different way. Be careful with that, because that's that impulsiveness. We all get up to the registers and, checking out in our stores, and there's all these different things there trying to get us to spend money on it, right? So we have to be really careful to not get distracted and to pay attention to the details, and I'm going to keep saying that over and over, because this is about, as long as the sun is in Virgo, the main highlight is going to be about connecting those dots and to make things work practically. Now, another one of our planets that I want to talk about is Mars. Mars is making his way through a lot of different kind of ordeals. So let's talk about those. Aries. Mars is the planet of Aries, and Aries is the warrior, yes, but it's also initiatory energy, okay? And Mars is action, and Mars represents how we are going after what we want, how we go after how we get what we want, okay? And Mars is getting ready. He's in the process right now of slowing down to go retrograde on October the 30th of 2023. And honestly, he will be retrograde until January of next year. I'm not sure about the date. I forgot to write that down, but usually Mars will move through a sign every 7 weeks or so. But instead, when he is going retrograde, he's going to be spending 7 to 8 months in each sign. So he just moved into Gemini. And Mars likes Gemini because it's fast mental activity. Mars can get really burned out here because it's just kind of, it's scattered energy. Gemini doesn't really have that focus type energy. It just kind of scatters it, and that's, Mars does better when it's focused. So he just moved into Gemini, and I think that was October the 20th, and he will be there until March the 15th of 2023. So all this time he's going to be in Gemini. Now this can be too fast for our own good, and it's about adapting to change. And that's one thing that we have to be careful of, because if we're just going so fast that we're just adapting, well, then we miss something. We miss some details along the way. We miss, wait a minute, how did we get here? We were here not too long ago. What just happened? It's kind of like when you're at when you're watching a magician and he's working before you and he's got your attention here, but yet something else is going on there. So it is, this time, it can be more difficult to finish things during this time, again, because it's just, it's like it hitting the gas pedal, right? So in Taurus, Mars slowed. He did slow down a little bit because he did become more focused. In Gemini, he's been wide open, and you know, he just wants to push forward. He just wants to go forward and go. And really, we need to pay attention with how we are, what we are doing in our lives and what we are filling up our plates with. I am notorious for cluttering my plate, getting so much on it, but there's so much that we want to do. Again, Gemini can give us that scattered mind, and Mars works great there, yeah, but we have to really be careful about what we are obligating ourselves to at this time. This can be very, very tricky. Through September and October, we may feel like that we're spinning our wheels. There may be some frustration. Again, Mars is doing that slowdown, right? He's getting ready to go retrograde. So if things are coming up that you're noticing now, like, wait a minute, how did we get here? What happened? That sort of thing. This is all in play. Mercury's saying, hey, you forgot something. You need to notice something. So this can also lead to the collective of frustration. And we have to really watch out for that. Honestly, we're feeling these tides shift, and they are really shifting big time right now. Especially, we're not too far away from the fall equinox. And I will talk about that a little bit later. But as we are shifting these energies, and this is, the whole tides are changing here. It's like we've been going so fast, and we're going, and I know you all have noticed how time is just flying, and then now all of a sudden we're like, okay, wait a minute. It's like things are catching up, so to speak. So Mars in Gemini is normally exciting. We're moving quickly, but we're starting to slow down now. So we could feel like, we could feel like we're, it feels like we're slowing down, but we're not. We're still going. Gemini likes to connect the dots here. So this is slow energy with him, with Mercury slowing down. It's going to allow us to really tap into that and see what's been going on. This slowing down is going to allow us to experience more. Mars is the pioneer. He goes out and he paves the way, he blazes trails, and this slowing down is really going to bring about a lot of clarity that we need in our world right now. So Virgo is about usefulness, and it's about, it's Mercury, so it's about our tools, right? Virgo wants to be, everything has to be practical, useful. If we don't need it, let it go. And we have Mercury that's in Gemini. Well, this is curiosity. This is how we want to connect the dots with ourselves, globally, So even with government, dare I say. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of with the powers that be, so to speak. And you know, there could be some issues arising from this time. There could be some things that are coming into clarity that we needed. Yeah, so there are different things here, and it's going to be with different kind of events. There's many different shifts that are happening here. So in that, we are connecting in ways that we didn't think that we would connect before. Because with this clarity comes a different understanding. And it takes us a minute to process things. It takes us a minute to you know, allow it to sink into us. And this is a form of awakening, because you know, Uranus is still in Taurus, and Uranus is shaking the earth literally, and is causing an awakening. There's a lot of different things that are, you know, when in astrology we look at cycles, right? We want to look at cycles of what happened at this time before, when this placement happened, what happened. And this is a part of that cycle that is going on. So it could be, so during the next, especially through the end of September, there could be more and more of that unveiling that we are getting clarity on. And this is going to be, and you know, globally. It's not just in the United States. This is a global thing. Uranus gave us a vision back when Mars and Uranus and the North Node had that meeting. Uranus gave us a vision, and we can fulfill it. We can, but we have to. That vision was set in place by this past full moon in Pisces. So from that, we're going to have to make that. We're going to have to go forward with that. So this vision, it gives us a breakthrough. It's 4 degrees away from the full moon. So this is, I'm sorry, it's 4 degrees away from the North Node. So this has really given us something, a breakthrough that we can carry on through our future. Something that, you know, is a good thing. We have to stay focused, though. Again, Mars is in Gemini, and you know, he's going to be there for a minute, and that energy can make us feel scattered. So we're really going to have to work at staying focused on where we're going. There's just going to be a lot of distraction, and we have to pay attention. And you know, luckily Mercury is retrograde, and Mars is slowing down to go into retrograde. So this is helping us here. This is actually helping us. Now through the rest of the month, Saturn and Uranus is going to square. It back in 2021, it 3 different times it had a square. And they have been coming back to, and that was with the retrogrades. They would go forward and they would come back together. But they are coming back together again, and they will bring Jupiter in this mix. Now Jupiter is retrograde as well, but he is making a half square with Saturn and Uranus. Now Jupiter is moving through old territory because he is in retrograde. Remember, the planets aren't really moving backwards. It's just an optical illusion. So he's going back, and he's going through familiar territory. We're not moving forward as fast as we may want, but we are moving. And the slowness, again, is allowing us to pay attention. It's allowing us to connect the dots that we need to connect. We need to step back and assess. And that is about seeing from all different viewpoints, not just one. So the slowness is, it's moving, it's going to be moving, it's going to be a slow moving transit through all of September. So yeah, this is I think this is great energy because it is the unveiling, the clearing of the air type energy. On the 16th, Venus will square Mars, and this is our cosmic lovers, and this is really important. Whenever we see these squares go on between our cosmic lovers, we really need to pay attention to this energy. Venus is what we want, and Mars is how we get it. And, you know, we need to have these two, you know, getting together in harmony, not going against each other. Squaring is when they're squared. They're facing each other. It's a face-off. So what we want and how we get it, this energy, oh, this can be a wonderful, delicious energy, or this could be absolutely terrible, frightening, even deadly. So this is a dynamic energy, and it's full of creative energy. But the thing here is working together is really going to be key. It will take compromise, and we have to do the give and take. Remember, we have to understand that, you know, we're not here alone. We have other people, give and take sort of thing. So we have to be a team. This can be sweet energy. This can be very creative energy. We can be very working together to create stuff. Again, the very creative energy, very passionate. But we do have to be careful about not getting lost in the illusion. We have to bring ourselves back to reality, bring ourselves out of the fairy tales. If we're looking at love and we're looking at a relationship, we have to look at the reality of that. In the beginning, there's always the honeymoon phase, and then real life sets in, and it does happen. But it doesn't mean the relationship's over. It just means this is the next challenge that you need to work through. So be patient, you know. So be careful not to get lost in the illusion of what the fairy tale books say that it should be. Everybody's relationship is different, and you know, you have to work together in your own unique way in order to make your relationship work. Now the sun is going to oppose Neptune, so this is going to bring a lot of that romanticism into play, and this is regarding all relationships. And you know, we watch movies and stuff, and we see these wonderful love movies, and we see these wonderful family movies, and we can kind of get lost, and this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. Well, that's Hollywood. That's not real. That's not how things are. Life is messy, and life is about experience, and that's what we came here to do. But the thing is we have to work together, and we have to get on the same page with each other. And we have to be, you know, have teamwork and understand our weaknesses and our strengths and so forth. Now, on the 18th, Mars will oppose Jupiter, and this is going to be the greatest aspect of this month, because this is big ideas that we had in the beginning of the month. Maybe back, and it is going to be wanting to build these, right? So the sun will also trine Pluto on that day, and this is actually allowing us to go deeper and to find out more about ourselves and our path and where we're going. It's going to allow us to tap into that flow of that cosmic flow of energy of life that feeds all life, right? It's that cosmic flow. And this is a powerhouse of energy. And this is going to give us a lot of support in going forward for the rest of this month. it could have been, you know, around the full moon. We could have had some kind of vision, some kind of dream, that sort of thing. And, you know, we want to bring that forward. We want to, you know, perfect that. Be careful, because you can't do everything. Again, be careful. Don't fill your plate too much. We want to do everything, but you're just one person. You're just one person. Then, let's see, Mercury will be forming a square, well, a square and a half, I should say, with Saturn and Uranus. And then Jupiter is forming a half square with Saturn and Uranus, and it's going to oppose Mercury. So this spells conflict, because you have Saturn, which is limitations, then you have Uranus, which is freedom, and then you have Jupiter, which is abundance, right? So, and then they're going to be opposing Mercury. And yeah, this is not going to be very good energy. So, make this energy will move kind of quick, but be careful, because, you know, we need to stay grounded and be conscious. We can take things too far too quickly. And we have to really be careful with that, especially when we're looking at technology and different things like that. We can't rush things. We can't make things happen before they're you know, ready to happen. It's kind of like the butterfly. We can't push the butterfly out. It won't be able to fly correctly. You will actually kill it. So we have to allow a process. You know, life is a process. It's experiential. There's steps that we have to take. There's an unfolding. And if we move that too fast, we go into areas that we are not prepared to be in, and we're not prepared to handle. So we have to be careful with that. Also, Venus will be trining Uranus. And, you know, this is really good energy. You know, Venus trining Neptune, that's new energy for Venus. She really likes this. She's intrigued. She's inspired here. But we have to be careful not to get caught up in the excitement. And this could echo into something happening, you know, something that's made really public that happens, and it's going to cause a lot of attention. So we have to be careful not to get caught up in that excitement. It will lead us astray. Again, focus is needed. We can't be too scattered mind, because we can't be looking everywhere else and miss what's going on before us. So watch out for that. Don't get caught up in the dramas and the excitement of different things. There's something else that you need to see. So keep your eye on that. There's going to be a great conflict between expansion and resistance. So it's like something that wants to expand, but then it's like a growing, and then it's like wanting to take off, and you're no, can't do that. By the 21st, we seem to be reaching our limit. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus square. It's going to be a half square. It says you went too far. Uranus says not far enough. So here we go. Saturn is like and Uranus is like, oh, I'm not done yet. And this can be compared to what we are seeing in our world, with wanting to have all of this liberation, but yet being dampened out. We have to understand how to work this to have the best outcome of it. Too much is as bad as too little. We have to find that medium. We have to find that balance there. Yeah, so this energy, you know, Saturn and Uranus square, it's still building up. This is potent energy, and, you know, this is something that we are really going to feel. not in, you know, it'll be a little bit in our personal lives. It will come into our personal lives. So this will be on the outside. By the 22nd, we will have our fall equinox. That is when the sun moves into the sign of Libra. And the fall equinox is when the day is when it's equal. Equinox is equal. And I will be doing a different show on that on my YouTube, and you're going to be more than welcome to check that out. So all in all, this week we're going to be, and especially for even the rest of the month of September, it's going to be about connecting the dots. It's going to be cover-ups are going to be revealed. We are in a building period, and I've said before, you know, these last few months of 2022 are going to be interesting to say the least. It is a very strong year, and it's one of this period of time we're coming, you know, we're through is going to be, we're having a great purging. You know, the Pisces full moon has really helped us with a purging. That's about the culmination. It's release. It is a release. And then, you know, as soon as the moon moved into Aries, of course, it began the ignition. It's stepping out on its own. It's figuring out how to be independent, how to get what it wants. So there we'll have some clearing, and with all of this, there's going to come some healing this month. And it's going to be through all of these things that are coming about, the clarity, the revealing, things like that. The North Node is also going to be square Saturn and Uranus. And this, again, is going to be about expansion and restriction. I want to talk about Jupiter really quick, because Jupiter is important in the fact that Jupiter's referred to as our guru planet. He's spiritual and he's philosophical. And when we get to Mercury is like Buddha. It's intelligence, and it's how we think and process info. So these two are going to be very important as we go through the rest of this month. You know, we are reflecting and pulling back. You know, Mercury is retrograde, so we're reflecting, we're pulling back, we're connecting the dots. You know, we're wanting some clarity. We want transparency. And they will be coming, and they will definitely be coming. And if this month is such a powerful month, as we will definitely have some awakenings by the end of this month. And I will say that, you know, in the signs, when Jupiter will spend 10 to 12 years through all of the signs. And when Jupiter was at his placement, is in his placement now. He was, that was back in October of 1975. And I don't remember that, but I've heard of it. And that was when it was the OPEC's oil and the gas prices were off the charts, and there was shortages and lines and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting. And when Jupiter, when we go retrograde, it tells us go back and uncover what happened during that time, so that we can prepare for the future. And that's what astrology's for, to prepare for the future. It's to help us out. It's to, you know, guide us so we can, you know, put our things in order. Unfortunately, it's looked at so differently nowadays because, you know, it does empower one. It does empower one to prepare for things to come. And, you know, it allows you to be more in tune with the happenings, so you're not too affected. So through reflections, we get realizations. And I will say also in 1975, that was the end of the Vietnam War. So that is a good thing. That is a very good thing. And I will say that things are going to heal. And I do feel that. I want to offer you hope from this, because this is shifting. And for some people, you can feel lost. You can feel hopeless. Don't. There is going to be a lot more of revealing and a lot more clarity and transparency. And we will heal through this. This is a deep learning experience. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to grow, and we're here to learn, and we're here to experience life. And when we look at astrology, we realize that, you know, our sentient being that we live upon has cycles, and all of these different cycles are there to tell us something. And it behooves us to know when these major aspects are happening, we need to look back in time and say, okay, what happened back then? We go back and say, oh, okay, that gives us an idea of what's going on. And that helps us prepare for our future, so we don't end up in the ways and those bad ways that we did. We are supposed to learn from mistakes, not keep repeating them. So, yeah, I'm really interested to see what the tarot portion is, and I hope you enjoy it. And I will see you right back with the tarot portion of the AstroTarot Show. And thank you so much, and see you in just a minute.